But I'm delighted to be joined in studio by the one and only Brenda Giles. How are you?
Good morning, Maria.
Long time no see.
Long time no see is right, yeah. It's been a while.
And the reason that you're in to talk to me this morning is that you are one of the stars of Steel Magnolias that's going to be happening in Garter Lane on the 31st of April to April... Sorry, I beg your pardon. 31st of March until the 2nd of April.
Yes.
That's a big kind of... There are big roles, each and every one of those roles.
Big roles, and funny, it's daunting now, I have to admit. But like every cast member is nearly on the stage all the time. You know what I mean? Or else we're coming in and out all the time. Like it's set in an old southern town, and that was daunting for me now because the accent was a little bit iffy, and I was going, oh, will I ever get this accent? Will I ever get this accent? But it's coming together. It's really, and it's a lovely, lovely play. There's everything in it. Very emotive. It's funny. There's just every emotion in it. Now it's really lovely, and it's tipping along nicely now at the minute.
And you're playing Clary.
I'm playing Miss Clary Belcher, yeah.
Which I like because you're usually known as the evil queen and all the mean parts in the panto. So if you were being cast type, you probably would have been cast as the Shirley MacLaine part as Weezer in it. Yeah. But you're not. You're playing it. No. She's nice. She's got some cracking lines.
Oh, listen, the one-liners are fantastic in there, But she's kind of the grand dame. Like, she's the former mayor's wife. She's a widow. And, so she's the older member of the gang. But it's a lovely part. She's glam. Actually, I'm loving it, So it's very straight for me now. Yeah. And, I suppose I'm typecast as the evil queen or the baddie all the time. But this is such a challenge. And I was delighted when Jack asked me will I play this part, Now I had to go back on the movie, and I had to go back, and because I couldn't, I remember the film, but I couldn't remember the story of it. Yeah. So I had to go back and back in the 80s, so it's all 80s, all my era anyway, so that's probably why I was cast as the oldest person. I don't know.
And Olympia Dukakis played the role that you were playing.
Yeah, she did.
It's one of those scripts and one of those films that is very, very sad and very, very funny at the same time, which is kind of hard to do.
Which is very difficult to do. And the play itself, it's pretty much like the movie, other than, it's based in the salon all the time. It's a hairdressing salon. But the bond between the women in it is just lovely. It's really lovely. So there's kind of mainly 4 long-term friends, and then how they bring 2 youngsters kind of in, the young girls that come in. One is the daughter of one of the friends, and then there's another girl that comes to get a job in the salon, the hairdressing salon. We're very lucky, because we have Jane Farr now is playing the Dolly Parton, so I mean, she's Miss Truvy, right? And she's an actual hairdresser, so like it's great, like, because there's a lot she has to do in it as regards hairdressing, and for sure, look, she's the right woman in the job, like, It
always makes me laugh. The other way you see Audrey in Coronation Street, and anyone who works in the hair. Audrey, how long is Audrey a hairdresser in Coronation Street?
Listen, years,
the woman can't hold a scissors, she can't hold a comb.
Yeah, whereas Jane Farr is going to be marvellous now in this, because she knows exactly how to hold a scissors and a comb, that kind of way. And she has to work on hair, like, as well, so that's not easy. I can sit around reading a magazine because I'm I'm coming into the salon to get the hair done, like, so. But for her now, it's going to be tough, But
quite a dramatic thing, quite dramatic.
Very dramatic, and there's extremely dramatic parts, especially one now with the Sally Field character now. Karen Steenson is playing her. Oh, and, actually my own daughter, which is lovely, is playing Shelby, her daughter, which there's a gorgeous bond between the two of them. Now, the fact maybe that they know each other helps, but there's lovely scenes with those really emotive scenes now. And I know both of them, especially Karen, is going to be, she'll be fantastic in it. Because even when we were reading the script, like the first time reading it, and Karen was reading, and we were going, we got emotional even, because it really would touch you now. Because there are certain things in it like that really hit close to home as well. It's a lovely story, really lovely story. And not just for the women.
This is where I admire you, Brenda, because you can. I'm going to say the word spoof. I don't mean it disrespectfully. Respectfully, I mean. But if you're the wicked queen, if something goes wrong, you can kind of spoof a bit. But this is proper emotion and script and like that level of performance that other people are relying on you to keep their own role intact, if you know what I mean.
It's a big ask of any performer, I suppose. You know what I mean? Plays are completely different. Oh my God, and it's the lines that we have to learn first and foremost, right? I find the older I get, the harder I find it to learn lines or to keep the lines in the head. But the more you rehearse, it just gets into it. So I'm constantly at the script out kind of every day. So I'm going over lines all the time, all the time, you know. But I'm getting tips from everybody else, you know. Now, some of the lines I have are changing subjects, so you have to literally be in there, you know. And there could be one-liners that are coming after about a set of 10 lines, and you just have to remember. Those are the ones, the harder ones now to kind of, you know. The big long monologues aren't too bad because you can learn them off. But the one-liners that come in after maybe about 10 lines are the harder ones to. But we're very good with each other. We're very good, and I know the cast is fantastic. The cast is it's well cast. Jack did a great job there now, you know.
And how do you learn your lines? Do you record them and listen to yourself saying them?
Some people do.
Or do you literally learn them?
No, I learn them. I read them and I go over and over and over them. It's like learning when we were in school, like learning stuff, you know, learning off. That's how I do it. Now, I know other people would record themselves. I hate listening to myself, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't do that, but I just go over it. Now, I think what we are going to be doing as well is we could sit around a table, the 5 of us or 6 of us, and we'll do what's called just a line call. So we're not walking around or like on the set or anything. So we just go bang out the lines one after the other. I find that helps big time now. And what we'll have to do, I suppose, when it comes to it now, is we'll have to get into character very early, well before the play even starts. Yeah. So we'll be running lines then. So we'll have to even get the accents in and getting into the characters and all that. I'm looking forward to that. It's a big challenge. It's a huge challenge. Yeah, it is. It really is. Like, people just think, they're no bother to you, you know. But it's not. It's big. And it was really, when Jack asked me, I've kind of had to think about it, and I went, will I be able for it? Like, will I, you know? So he dropped out the script and I said, you know what? I need to challenge myself as well. I can't be the evil queen all the time, like, you know. But, you know, or in the comedy, because I love the Bilberry Goats as well, and they're coming back on stage now in October too. But, you know, I love all that. But this is really, it's going to be very good. Jack, in fairness to him, has great vision for it. You know,
talk the set and everything. Jack now. He's directing, is he? He
is. Jack is directing. Like, isn't he young? You know, so young, but great vision, very professional, really, really professional, you know. We're scheduled for our rehearsal times, and, you know, he's doing up now a costume board. Jeez, a costume I wouldn't be able for. But anyway, he's doing up all this, so, you know, that we know what we're going to be doing, what we're going to look like, and, you know, I can't wait now. I'm really glamorous in it. Well, I'm supposed to be glamorous, Jack. And so I'm looking forward to that. You know, it'll be a change for me now. Total change. But Jack is lovely. He's lovely to work for, yeah.
It is. It is a huge undertaking, and
huge undertaking
for doing it.
Yeah, for everybody, you know, for all the characters. Like, and some great characters, really, really lovely characters. So you have Jane Farr, you have Karen Steenson, you have Aisling Giles, you have Samantha O'Regan, yeah, you know, and myself, like, so, and of course Lisa Carney. She's fabulous. She's Miss Weezer in it now, and Lisa, no stranger to the stage either, as well. A lovely girl, but she has a fantastic role as well. The Weezer role is brilliant.
Who gets to say about? Does she say it about herself? I've just been in a bad mood for 40 years.
That's Weezer, yeah, that's her line, and that's brilliant. There's some lines in it, you know, the one with just paint my door red and call me. That's Truvie's line. The lines that are iconic that people still remember from the movie, you know, and they're great. I have some great one-liners now. I can't wait, especially at the end now. I have a great one-liner at the end.
And when you settle on a way to deliver a line, will you do it like that for each of the performances, or are you one of the other way? I think it was Richard Burton used to kind of play around with lines, and he could do the same speech in 3 different ways on 3 different nights. Do you kind of, when you hit on the way that you feel is right for it, do you stick with that?
Yeah, I think I do anyway. And to be honest with you, certainly with one-liners, and if you're delivering one that's going to be funny, the timing is that you need timing, like, for these things. So I suppose you have to a certain degree. Now, we kind of play around a little bit with lines, you know, insofar as I know my daughter Aisling was saying 2 or 3. She was finding that hard to say in a southern accent. So we had Liam. Anyway. Oh, Genie Max. Sorry, I can't even think of his name. But anyway, the chap came down to work on our accents with us, right? And Aisling said, can I say 4 or 5? Because it sounded better. So he said, yeah, just put in 4 or 5. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Where she was finding 1 or 2 or 2 or 3, she had to say. And it didn't sound southern. Yeah. So, like, we can play around a little bit with our lines, you know what I mean? Like, so, look, it was brilliant now. It's really going to be good, I have to admit. And I think it's a lovely night out for people. And not just women, but like my husband says, it's a bit of a chick flick type thing, you know. And I said, no, it's not, because you will enjoy it. It's an emotional, and it's based on a true story, which I didn't realise. So the guy that wrote it, his sister, it's based around his sister's life.
And it was a play.
It was a play. It was, yeah.
It originated as a play.
It originated as a play, yeah. And then the movie was iconic, and one of the most iconic ones, I suppose, back in the 80s. You know, love the style of the 80s too.
You're going to hate me for asking you this question. If there was another role that you could play in the cast, which one would you choose?
Which one would I choose?
You're like me, if anyone asks you a question, you haven't had time to think about it.
Yeah. I don't know, to be honest with you. I think we're actually all cast in the right play, in the right parts. I really do. I think I was saying, I wonder, would it have been nice for me to play the mother of my own daughter? But then again, no, it might have been too close to home. I think Karen is amazing. Like, Jesus, she's amazing. She's been in loads of things. And Jane is just ideal for the Truvy part, for the Dolly Parton part. Do you know? And Lisa.
It's great for y'all to get back on stage.
It's great. Oh, lads, it's just amazing. Yeah, it really is. Because even with the panto, when we had the panto, you know, and all the restrictions that came with that, we were so lucky to even get to to do the run of that, like, you know. So it's great to be back on stage. It really is. Looking forward to it now.
Morning, Maria. Hope all's well and you're staying safe. Just would like to send every good wish to one hell of an actress, Brenda Giles, one of the finest ambassadors ever to represent this wonderful city, and an absolute lady who deserves every happiness and accolade. The very best of luck to all the cast and crew of Steel Magnolias. Break a leg, Ger O'Brien.
Oh, Ger, that's so lovely. And Ger only received a lovely accolade himself there 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Ger. Well deserved.
Keith in Super Value says, best of luck, Brenda. Can't wait to see the show.
Thanks, Keith.
Do you get nervous beforehand now?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Nerves are, nervous days beforehand. How I settle my nerves is I need to get in there. And I think once we get into Garter Lane itself, and if we're there, like, we'd probably be there an hour and a half before the show starts, and just getting into character. And once you're with everybody that feels the same, you're okay. And the nerves won't subside until you get out on that stage and probably delivering your first line, and you can relax. But you're literally up to 90 before you go out there, especially side stage. I'm like that even in panto. Everything doesn't matter. 21 shows, it could still be the same. Going out there and that rumbling in your stomach and that heightened sense of, oh my God, is it going to be okay? And you're going over the first line all the time. And once you're out there then, and you can just settle in and you go, yes, now I have it now.
And do you get in character together, or would you go off into a place?
No. I say what'll happen is we'll all be together and we'll all get into character together. And I would imagine, and I know with this crew as well, that we'll all run lines before we go out there and we'll get into the characters, because you have to. I think with this particular play, you have to. So, but they're great. They're very well experienced. You know, even the younger girls. You know, my own daughter now, Aisling and Samantha. They're well used to going out there. You know, and.
It's great to have it in Waterford, though, isn't it? Because it's such an iconic thing.
Yeah, isn't it?
Everybody really knows Steel Magnolias.
Yeah. And I think, any of my friends, I have to definitely get tickets for that, because they remember the movie and like that, you know. So there was groups of women going together, like, you know, and then there's the couples going that, we'll go for our dinner first and we'll have a few drinks and we'll go to the play, and we know it's going to be nice, and, you know, and that's lovely. I think it's always a lovely night out. Nothing like a night out at the theatre. There's nothing like it. I just love it anyway.
It's in Garter Lane Arts Centre from the 31st of March until April 2nd.
April 2nd, yeah.
And you can get your tickets on garterlane.ie.
Yeah.
Or I presume you can call the
box office as well, I'm sure, yeah. I would imagine so, but I mean, most people get them online now anyway, you know, so there's definitely tickets there. Plenty of tickets left, and so just get your tickets, because it's definitely going to be wonderful. It'll be a wonderful night out.
Well, the very best of luck to everybody involved in it. Break a leg, as they say.
Yeah.
Which I always feel bad saying, in case somebody actually does.
You'd often wonder, why people do say that, you know, break a leg. I nearly broke my hip during the panto now, because they all were laughing. My hip actually went on stage in the panto. Yeah, it did. I was going out on stage and I had high heels on, right? And I was wearing them. But say we were after finishing on the Sunday afternoon, so we weren't back on stage until the Wednesday night. I went out on that Wednesday night, right? And first line had to deliver, and I had to do a song as well. The next minute I could feel this popping the side of my hip, so I felt like, is it after coming out of its socket now? Here I was. So I'd actually felt this really searing, burning pain going down the side of my leg. And I had to continue on. Did the scene, came off the stage, and I said, I think my hip has after been put out. I think I'm after dislocating my hip. Anyway, the girl sat me down. So I said, right, I had to go in and out, I had to go on all night. But I do reckon that it was the heels. I thought, I had visions of myself in interaction out in Arkeeler. Right, all this was going, you know, they would say break a leg, break a hip. But I went out on the second half in a pair of Crocs. Patrice Power had to come up with silver glitter and silver spray Crocs, black Crocs, silver. This is what you do in shows, right? And loads of glitter on it. When I had to walk out on stage in a pair of Crocs, nobody noticed. But so to stay on the level, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't stay in the high heels. Madness, things you do. Anyway, that was okay.
Show must go on.
Show must go on, exactly.
Brenda, lovely chatting to you again. It's
you too, Maria.
Thank you so much for coming in. Like I said, Steel Magnolias will be on in Garter Lane Arts Centre from March 31st until April 2nd. And everybody who is, saying, oh, we've nowhere to go, we've nothing to go and see during lockdown, we'll make sure you go out and support it. Now the people are making an effort to bring you nice shows and putting a lot of work into doing that for you. Thanks very much.
Thank you,
to
Maria.
Brenda Giles. Back after these.